Great news for first-time homebuyers in Canada. The federal government has announced a GST rebate on new homes that could save you up to $50,000. If you're in the market for a new home, there is an opportunity here for you. And this program is worth understanding before you make any decisions. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. This program, as good as it is not going to do what most people think it will. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the program is, who it applies to, and what it actually means for the housing market and for you. But before we get into how the program works, a little context is worth having here. The original GST rebate on new homes has been around since 1991. The problem? It was capped at a purchase price of $350,000. But the benchmark price of a home in Canada is now around $730,000. That program had essentially been useless for years because the market completely outgrew it. This update finally brings the threshold in line with where home prices actually are today, and that alone is a meaningful shift. So here's how the program works. The new rebate eliminates the GST or the federal portion of the HST on new homes for eligible first-time buyers. If you're purchasing a brand new home priced at $1 million or under, you could receive a 100% rebate on the GST paid up to a maximum of $50,000. For homes priced between $1 million and $1.5 million, that rebate phases out gradually, and above $1.5 million, there is no rebate. This rebate applies to three situations: buying a newly built home from a builder, building your own home on land you own or lease, or buying into a cooperative housing development. The home has to be brand new, so resale properties don't qualify, and it has to be your primary residence. Now, who actually qualifies? To be eligible, all of the following have to be true. You have to be at least 18 years old and a Canadian citizen or permanent resident. You cannot have owned or lived in a home owned by your spouse or common law partner as your primary residence at any time in the current calendar year or the previous 4 calendar years. Your purchase agreement must have been signed on or after March 20th, 2025, and construction has to begin before 2031, with the home substantially completed before 2036. And one more important detail, this is a one-time lifetime benefit, and if your spouse or partner has already used it, you're not eligible either to use it again. And here's a question worth asking before we go any further. How many first-time buyers in Canada are actually purchasing a home close to $1 million? I don't know many, but let me know in the comments below how many first-time buyers you know or that you think are spending that much on their first home. Now let's take a realistic look at what this program actually does and what it does not do. The math is straightforward. It's more money in buyers' hands, but with the same number of homes available, and if more buyers are buying, it means that prices go up. This program does not add a single new home to the supply. It does not change what builders are producing, how fast they're building, or what land costs. Not one extra home gets built because of this rebate. The savings flow to the buyer, not into the system. Prices for new construction are still set by what it costs to build and what the market will bear. And here's the part that really puts the scale of all of this into perspective. Some estimates suggest that only about 5% of new homes will actually qualify for this rebate when you factor in all of the eligibility conditions. First-time buyers only, new construction only, under 1.5 million only, and signed on or after March 20th, 2025. So, is it a good policy? Absolutely. It will help some buyers. But is it enough to meaningfully shift affordability or supply across the market? Not even close. So here's the question that actually matters for you if you're a first-time buyer right now. Does this change your thinking on whether to buy a new home or a resale home? Let me know down below. Because this is where this program delivers real value, just not in the way that the headlines suggest. One of the most common comparisons I walk buyers through is new construction versus resale. Resale homes offer established neighborhoods, more living space, usually per dollar in many cases, and no wait time for construction. But new builds offer modern finishes, energy efficiency, a new home warranty, and the advantage of being the first person to live in the space. But new builds have traditionally carried a cost disadvantage, and here's why. When you buy a new home from a builder, the GST is charged on top of the purchase price. It's an additional cost that resale buyers simply don't have to face. So, on a $550,000 new build, for example, that's roughly $27,500 in GST coming out of your pocket on top of what you agreed to pay for the home. But this rebate eliminates that gap. If you're a first-time buyer comparing a new build at $550,000 against a comparable resale property, this rebate means that you're no longer paying that extra $27,000 in tax on the new home. It puts both options on even footing financially in a way that they have not been before, and that changes the decision. Instead of defaulting to resale just to avoid the GST hit, you can now weigh new versus resale on the things that actually matter to you: the features, the location, and the lifestyle. That is the practical value of this program. It's not a market shifting policy and it's not an affordability change, but it's a genuine financial advantage for the right buyer in the right situation. When you cut through the headlines, here is what you're actually left with. The rebate is real, it's now into law, and if you're a first time buyer purchasing brand new with an agreement signed on or after March 20th, 2025, you should absolutely be factoring it into your decision. But go in with clear expectations. This affects a very narrow slice of the market. It's not going to bring prices down, it's not going to create more homes, and your personal eligibility depends on your specific circumstances, your purchase timeline, and how your transaction is structured. And just a small disclaimer, nothing in this video is tax advice. Before you make any decisions based on this rebate, please talk to your accountant or a qualified tax advisor who can look at your specific situation. I will drop a direct link to the official Canada.ca program page, though, in the description, so you can read through the details yourself and share it with your advisor. If you have questions about buying your first home in Kelowna or want to understand how the current market might affect your timing, feel free to reach out to me at any time. My contact information is down in the description. And if you found value in this video or you found it helpful, hit the like and subscribe buttons so that other people like you can see this video too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.